Let's rank every fire Pokemon from each generation, starting with Generation 1. Now, of course, we've got some lovable lovelies in here. We have Charmander, and we have Growlithe, and we have Vulpix. Now, let's go with Charmander, because we all know that one episode where Charmander is like abandoned, and he has a little ring, like that stays in my heart. I know I'm going to upset a lot of people by not picking Charizard, but let me tell you, I actually don't like Western Dragons that much. I really love the Eastern Dragons more. All right, Generation 2, I'm going to go with one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, which is Ho-Oh. I love them so much. Their colors, the vibe, the lore drop that we got in the series when they appeared. I even love the quests in the games at the top of the Burning Tower. It was a lot of fun. Generation 3, we actually have a couple of starters here, but I will say that I actually really loved Torkoal. I thought that was a really interesting design as like a turtle, as like kind of like a mini volcano. For some reason, it really like tickled the creative aspect of my little brain. For Generation 4, I'm gonna go with Chimchar. There wasn't a lot in this generation. There was like Magmar, Chimchar, and then there was like the Rotom. Rotom's always a Pokemon that confuses me, and I kind of don't like what they're doing with Rotom lately. But let's go with Chimchar for that. Generation 5. We actually have a good deal of Pokemon for Generation 5 with this one. But I think for me, I really like the idea of Ghost Fire. And for that reason, we're gonna go with Litwick. I know they probably won't win, but I didn't think I'd pick them for Ghost, so I wanted to pick them for this one. All right, Generation 5. Let's go ahead and see. So for Generation 5, we have a couple of Mega Forms as well as a couple of other like different Pokemon. I'm going to go with Fletchinder. I really like appreciate them as like a bird. And I also really like the bird Pokemon for each generation, and I want to give them a little bit of a chance. Our next generation, we had Litten, the Litten evolutionary line. We also had Oricorio, the fire one. I think I'm gonna go with the Alolan Marowak though. As again, I really like that Ghost Fire vibe, and I think it's kind of fun. Okay, so for our next generation, then we had a couple of fire Pokemon. These fire Pokemon to me never really gave me the impression of like good fire Pokemon. But we'll see. Okay, so we had like our little bunny boys, we had like our little coals. I remember this generation being something that I didn't really like. So we're gonna go. I'm just gonna have to go with Scorbunny. I don't really normally like picking the starters, but they didn't really give us like very many options. Our next generation, I want to go with our Charcadet. I thought they were such a really cool Pokemon, and I like that they evolve into two different forms as well. However, if we're going to go back through all of these and we're going to have a look, I think the only time a legendary Pokemon is going to win here is when we pick Ho-Oh, because Ho-Oh was like such a beautiful Pokemon to me, and the rainbow vibe, everything was just amazing.